you're also going to use your wisdom, your general guidance that you can provide to the family, hopefully. But really, you can't test vision in school the way it needs to be tested for these kids. But being a detective and understanding the behavior that's happening is indicative of a certain vision processing or processing integration issue is what I think is most important. Okay, we'll go on to vision processing. Okay, there's symptoms for these things that you would realize as a school psychologist or as a teacher. There are vision processing skill deficits. Okay, eye tracking. Can they follow the line of print, or are they jumping around and losing track of where they are? Okay, that's functional vision or visual processing. Eye teaming. Are they able to use the two eyes working together, synchronized teamwork, such as that video you saw the child, her eye kicking out. All right, that means binocularly she is not having the skill needed to maintain attention and fluency with reading. Combination is the ability to just change the focus mechanism in our eye, the lens that changes our focus for far and near, back and forth. That needs to be flexible, it needs to have endurance. And then just forming images in our brain of our visual information, okay? And integrating that information and utilizing that, okay? One that you probably don't know about, but you're going to learn about today, is the bottom one. It's very special. Using your central vision and your peripheral vision together. Okay, that is a concept that you're going to get really, I think, a wow factor out of something, a demonstration you do later, okay, and a visual of the mapping of the child's peripheral vision. Peripheral vision is critical in learning and development. So it's got to synchronize with the central vision. And the central vision is what we think of when we're doing the screening at the school or a pediatrician to see if they have 20/20 vision. Going back to what I said earlier. Peripherals key. So these are the symptoms. We won't read through all of them, but a couple of them. Again, frequent loss of place, headaches, difficulty copying from the board, and just think vision. When you're observing a child, is it something visually going on, or is it? Are you going to chalk it up to they're just uncoordinated, or they've got a learning disability? Well, maybe they have all. But think vision. So many times we turn a child's life around with identifying and treating their visual skill or visual processing deficits. Now, the vestibular system is Shelley's baby, so I'll let her talk.
Okay, so the vestibular system, I said we would get into it, so here we go. So how many of you have heard the word vestibular, term vestibular? Okay, good. So a lot of you guys are familiar with it. So this is probably going to just be a little review. So a little picture here, it's located in the inner ear. It shares the same anatomical space as the auditory system, but it is a separate system. So it does share the same endolymph fluid that flows through both systems, but they are two different anatomical systems. Basically, our vestibular system is used to detect movement and motion, whether it's horizontal motion, whether it's spinning motion. It's also looking to understand our position as far as our head and body are related to gravity. So it's most often thought of as our balance system. So kind of responsible for our balance, responsible for regulating our muscle tone, most specifically our extensor muscle tone. So a lot of times when you're seeing those kiddos in your classroom that are really often kind of slumping in their seats, they're kind of always laying their head down on their desk when they're writing. They're kind of just always slumped over. We'll see those kids a lot, and a lot of times they might have a vestibular processing delay or something kind of going on with their vestibular system that's not allowing them, because the vestibular system is responsible for that extensor muscle control, so it's not allowing them. But sometimes you'll put that child on a swing, start giving them some vestibular input, and suddenly you'll start to see them become really erect and be able to kind of sit up a little more and a lot more alert for that. And also have much better postural control. The vestibular system is, I like to say, a very important system because it starts developing very early in utero. So it's one of the things we look for on history forms when parents come in. So we have a pretty thorough history form that we kind of go through with parents. So we're always asking a lot about developmental history and also even
Is the same true for like premature or extreme premature babies, because they're not getting a lot of that movement?
Yeah, yes, definitely. So, and we do, we'll see a lot of that vestibular delays in preemie babies as well, yeah. It is, the vestibular system is the first fully myelinated system, so because it's developing so early in utero, it's the first fully myelinated system at birth. So, if you have a typical, birth, coming there, it's fully functional at birth. So it's not fully mature at birth, but it is fully functional. So it's set, it's ready to go neurologically to start taking on and processing all of that information that's coming from movement. So, when we talk about all of these great things that moms have as far as those carriers that are great, that is a great way to carry baby around versus our nice handy car seats, because when we're in car seats, baby isn't getting a lot of feedback from that. They're laying there and they're nice and quiet, which is great for mom. Believe me, I know this very well. But when they're also getting that movement through mom again when they are strapped in any of those wraps or anything like that, because they're getting that good movement that mom's getting. So again, they're working to develop that vestibular system further through that. So the vestibular system is also the only system that connects to and integrates with all of the other sensory systems, and it also connects to our digestive tract. It connects to our limbic system, which is where the emotions are, and it connects to language centers of the brain. So if we have a vestibular system that isn't functioning properly, it's very likely we're probably going to see some developmental delays happening here. We don't always necessarily know what they are, but obviously we'll probably see some. It supports vision, hearing, touch, proprioception. So like I said, if it's a shorter delay, we're probably going to see some issues going on there. The visual vestibular teamwork is something we work at our clinic. So we do a lot of movement-based vision exercises, which means we're on the swing, we're on the balls, we're on the trampoline a lot doing vision exercises. So vision is the most important system that the vestibular system integrates with. Together they serve as the body's motion detection system. And keeping the eyes aimed and focused efficiently depends on a healthy vestibular system. So being able to do all these great things that kids do at school, whether it's reading, writing, focusing their attention on the board, on the teacher, anything like that, is also dependent on a healthy vestibular system. It allows us to team our eye movements together for these pursuits and saccades and things like that we're doing when it comes to the classroom. I always like to kind of say it's kind of like putting it's like a camera on a tripod. So that vestibular system is helping to keep the child's head, neck, and everything else stable up there, and so that the eyes can then do their job that they need to do in the classroom and everywhere else on the ball field or wherever. The semicircular canals that we saw in that little picture where that are located in the vestibular in that inner ear canal are in plane alignment and innervate with the extraocular muscles of the eyes. So they are innervated together and they do really work well in tandem. And therapy on both systems provides the best results. So working on one, only focusing on one is going to give you some good results, but when you obviously are integrating both of the systems, that's what's happening in real life, that's what's happening on their daily functioning life in school or wherever, so that's going to give you the best results. Okay, Dr.
Okay.
Steve's little demo for us now.
Well, sensory processing, sensory integration. Where does it occur? What part of the brain? I mentioned earlier, the lower brain, brainstem, midbrain. Okay. All right. Subconscious. It's non-cognitive. It happens automatically, hopefully, and it's something that I can demonstrate to you right now on you. Are you ready? Okay. If you'd like to participate, stand, please, in your place.
We're getting some good sensory movement right now.
You gotta get up, wake up a little bit. So stand in place. If you have a healthy ankle, knee, and hip and everything, this is for you. If you don't, please don't do this activity. Okay, so we just finished the slide. Okay, some slides with vestibular discussion and vision vestibular. So those two systems have to integrate in the midbrain, the lower brainstem, nuclei, they're called. That integration is a meet and greet. It's a committee room. That information goes in, and they talk to each other, and then instantaneously something happens. So it's the conference room, the meet and greet, that part of the brain. Here's how you can feel that happen. So stand on one foot. Try to balance. Okay, good. Balance. The vestibular system, right? Right. Now close your eyes. You lost integration of vision with vestibular. Vision supporting the vestibular system, and the vestibular system supports vision. They are like married, good marriage. Excellent. Okay, do you feel that, everybody? Feel that? Yeah. Sit down. Then, this young fellow on the video coming up, this young fellow will also exhibit a vestibular vision dysfunction, or integration dysfunction.
So imagine this child if he's sitting in your classroom and reading.
He's following a stick, a bird on a stick. He's following it back and forth.
Keep following the bird.
That's a eye tracking problem, isn't it? Yeah. His vestibular system is definitely not supporting him, no doubt.
Good. A bit more. Okay,
How's he
follow.
gonna read? How's he gonna catch a ball?
Good job.
Our therapy is focused on helping the children out like this.
Good. Now don't move your head. Good. Now we're gonna go a little faster.
He's not an actor, by the way.
You can also notice that little guy too, he, just by looking at his presentation, he has a lot more going on there. He has a lot of motor overflow. You can tell in his face too. So he's trying to control that with everything he's got. He's given it all of his effort, but you can see the lips, the mouth, his eyelids, everything is really moving there for him. So what behaviors indicate the presence of sensory processing deficit? So that's kind of what we're gonna look at today. In these slides, we're gonna kind of take a look at each individual sensory system, and we talked about that comfort zone and how the sensory processing skills in the brain modulates the sensory information as it's coming in. Like Dr. Curtis said, it's a kind of a meet and greet, filtering important information and letting go of what's not important. If we have a good comfort zone, then we have a lot bigger space to be comfortable and to be just right. But we can also kind of have the under-registering and over-registering, where we can get overstimulated. So if we're looking at tactile, I guess before we say that, one of the key things to remember about sensory is that children typically don't know what's happening with them when they have sensory needs. When they have sensory processing deficits, they don't know or understand a lot of times what's happening. Their behaviors are the body's way of communicating that to us. So that's one of the things I usually try to educate parents on, is that is to look for these behaviors as annoying as they are a lot of times, and as as difficult as that they can be. But that's the body's way of doing its best to communicate what's going on internally for them. So if we're taking a look at the sense of touch, a child or an adult, either way, can be hypersensitive, where some of the behaviors that you might exhibit would be that they hate to be messy, they dislike affection, so it means that they're just one that doesn't like to be touched. They're hypersensitive to that. Or they could follow the other end of the spectrum, where they're hyposensitive. They don't know when they're messy. They're that child that can get stuff all over their face and they have no idea. They touch everything. They're that kid in the classroom that's always up in your business and in your personal space with everything. They play rough with their peers. They're hitting their peers. They tend to not notice pain. They get hurt, but they are just right up and at it again. They tend to have a high pain tolerance. So those would be some of our tactile kids. Our vestibular friends that are hypersensitive, they tend to avoid playground equipment and extra movement. So they tend to have an exaggerated fear of falling sometimes. So they don't like to have their head upside down. They don't like to have their feet off of the ground a lot of times. They generally, sometimes if they're hypersensitive, they hate rotational movement. So they're really sensitive to that. Some of you guys might be that way right now. Just watching it kind of makes me sick. And hyposensitive child to vestibular movement would be the kid that never sits still. So they're always on the go. They're always craving that movement. They need that movement. They're full of energy. They're always spinning. They never get dizzy. They're that child that their threshold is so high that they just can't seem to move it. So they're always trying to get that movement in. For proprioception, proprioception is basically the sense of knowing where our body is in space. So when I put my arm out to my side here, I don't need to look and use my eyes to know that my arm is out to my side. My proprioceptors, and what that is proprioceptors lie deep within our muscle bellies and our joints and our tendons, so that when our muscles contract and our body moves, it tells us, it gives child or a person that doesn't know where a body is in space, especially without the use of vision. So vision becomes really important for these proprioceptive kids. So an under-responsive child would be one that is always roughhousing, that they are always jumping, crashing, they love hugs, they love aggressive movement. They sometimes are typically referred to as they're just a boy, they're just that typical boy, they like those boy behaviors. An over-responsive proprioceptive system would be those kiddos that just, they have no idea where their body is in space, they're really clumsy, they're just uncoordinated, they tend to bump into things, and these tend to be the kids that don't like to be playing sports, typically. They kind of shy away from, especially team sports, because they don't know where their body is on the field, so they don't know when the ball is coming at them, they can't react well to it, they don't do well in it, so they tend to shy away, especially from team sports. And difficulty regulating input is that child who doesn't know how hard to push or to pull on things. These are going to be your kids in the classroom who are always breaking pencil tips. You're going to see that wear down pencils so easily. They cannot use a mechanical pencil because they don't know how to regulate that pressure when it comes to pencils. They rip the paper when they're erasing because they erase so hard. They can't regulate that pressure for them. For auditory, we have those hypersensitive kids who are always covering their ears. They're resistant to large open spaces, so the cafeteria is really, it's a sensitive place for them to go into, crowded places. The hyposensitive kids are the ones who don't respond well to verbal directions, so they're the ones that you have to constantly repeat directions to. They have difficulty following the multiple step directions. They're always asking what, what did you say, what? Or those kids that are constantly making noise. If you ever have those kids in your classroom who are constantly doing something and it just gets really agitating, like clicking a pen or just constantly making little vocalizations or verbalizations, they're trying to stimulate themselves. So they're hyposensitive to that auditory. So when do these issues and behavior problems become an actual disorder, or when do they become a problem? So typically, on an everyday basis, we take care of our sensory needs. Like I said, right now you guys are all doing a great job at sensory processing. You're awake. I don't see anyone sleeping, so we're alert. We're awake. So you guys are doing a wonderful job. So we typically do really well at keeping that just right state, or in that comfort zone. We all have preferences. We all have sensory issues. I realize I have a lot more of them when I work with children than I knew. So we all have we kind of all operate on a continuum of this sensory spectrum here. So that's normal. We can all become overstimulated at times. We can all be understimulated at times. We all need to drink our coffee in the morning, to kind of get awake. Sometimes we're having good days, sometimes we're not. But typically, we can do things that help ourselves to regulate. So if you look around, when you're sitting and you start to doze off, what are some things that you do to kind of keep yourself awake? You'll see some hair twirling or some pen clicking, some feet tapping or movement. Those are things that we're doing to kind of alert and to kind of keep that in that just right zone. And when we're in that comfort zone, we're in that just right zone, that means we're in the optimal stage for learning. So we can take in information, we can learn and pay attention. So we don't want to get over or under, that just right zone. We can regulate that ourselves. But it becomes a problem, or becomes what we would consider a sensory processing disorder, when these behaviors that are disruptive or unpredictable, when they start to affect development, when they're affecting developmental skills, or when they start to impact and interrupt daily life and performance of either the child or the family, which is an important message to remember to the family, because sometimes it doesn't always look the same too. Sometimes they might be looking at school one way and they are dealing with a different child when the child gets home. So if they might be a family that they can't ever go anywhere, they can't go out to dinner, they can't go out grocery shopping with this child because it's impacting the performance of how the family functions as a whole. So it is important not to look at just the child, but how they function together as a family unit too. The impacts when a child does have a sensory processing deficit or disorder, a bunch of them. So pretty much anything: productivity, self-esteem, anxiety. You're going to see difficulties with development, life skills, social skills are going to be a challenge for them. Participating in play. If they're going to, it's going to limit their enjoyment and what they like to do and what they can do on a daily basis. You're going to see avoidance behaviors. They're going to have unexplained outbursts that you're just going to not know why. They're going to have poor attention and poor motor development. And like I just said, the impacts that we've seen at don't like my child because I do not see any of this happening at home. They must just do this at school, you know? Well, it might just be happening in that situation because they're overwhelmed in their environment. There's just too much going on. Or it might be the opposite. It's the kid that holds it together all day at school and then they get home and they completely melt down. So one of the hallmarks of sensory processing disorders is that they're inconsistent. It's a hallmark of sensory processing disorder. There are a few different types of sensory processing disorders. You have those who avoid behaviors. You have those who seek, who want more sensory information, and then you have some that just display motor skill challenges, for just like I said, those kind of clumsy, uncoordinated types. Okay, and now I'm going to turn it over to Mary Kay, and she is going to talk to you about how sensory processing deficits are affecting your child's ability to learn and what multisensory instruction is. So my background is in a traditional classroom. I have 32 years in the classroom. I taught grades K through 8. I've been blessed to join this team and have learned so much that I thought, why didn't I know this before? I could just relate back to so many of the children that I had had in the past and wish I had known about a program like this or a place like this for many of the children that I came in contact with over the years. I had mostly traditional children, but then the last 10 years had quite a few children that were on the autism spectrum. And I was absolutely petrified as a regular ed teacher to have those children in my classroom, afraid that I was going to do something to cause more problem than help. But what I did find was that a lot of those behaviors from those children I was seeing in typical developing children as well. And the more I learned and the more I found out about it, I thought, these are all sensory processing differences among our children. So when the body is not able to process all of the stimuli coming in through the senses, then the body works very hard to try to organize that information. And how much energy is left for the cognitive skills that we as teachers had to teach? Not a lot. So our ultimate goal in the classroom, of course, is we want our children to learn how to read. And reading requires a lot of different steps, all which require sensory processing. We need to be able to see it clearly, and they need to focus, and be able to, the endurance has to be up. They have to decode, and decode efficiently and very quickly. They need to be able to scan it, but the tracking is extremely important. And then be able to process those symbols on that page to draw a picture in their mind. So,
We have a slide. I need a volunteer to read the next slide. Is everyone here a good reader? If you're a good reader, you'll have no problems, I promise. Is there a volunteer?
I'll read it.
Please speak loudly,
Okay.
since you're in the back.
Okay. According to a research, at an English university, it doesn't matter in what order the letters in a word are. The only important thing is that the first and last letter is at the right place. The rest can be a total mess, and you can still read it without problem. This is because we do not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole.
Very well done. Are you glad you didn't volunteer? That's a great slide, and I love that slide because it ties in everything she just mentioned right here. You had to see it clearly, you